Japan is a nation where ancient traditions and modern innovations blend seamlessly, offering experiences from historic temples to futuristic cities. Tokyo, the bustling capital, is known for its cutting-edge technology, fashion, and vibrant food culture, while Kyoto preserves the quiet beauty of temples and classical gardens. Japan's scenery varies from cherry blossoms in spring to snow-capped mountains in winter, making it a year-round destination for travelers. With deep-rooted cultural traditions and arts such as the tea ceremony, calligraphy, and Kabuki theater, Japan maintains a unique and fascinating identity. In this video I will show you the best visiting place in Japan. Number 1. Matsumoto. You might expect the birthplace of visionary artist Yayoi Kusama to be a frenetic, overwhelming place, but beyond the City Art Museum, where her eye-catching polka-dotted pieces spill out of the main entrance, Matsumoto is pretty laid back. At its heart is Matsumoto-jo, the oldest castle in Japan. Its austere appearance is offset by the serene peaks of Chubusengaku National Park rising behind it, and the froth of pink blossoms surrounding it each spring. Matsumoto's easy access to Tokyo, combined with its thriving food and music scenes, have made it a favorite of young escapees from the capital, many of whom open chic independent businesses. Stroll through Nakamachi for upscale cafes and ryokan inns, in elegant converted warehouses, or cross the river to Frog Street for shops and restaurants in traditional wooden buildings. Spend a weekend here and you'll quickly understand the appeal of the artsy, relaxing Matsumoto lifestyle. Number 2. Shiretoko National Park. In Hokkaido's far northeast, the Shiretoko Peninsula juts out into the Sea of Okhotsk. Its steep mountains and dense forests look impenetrable at the best of times, and come winter the land is blanketed in deep snow and the shoreline jostled by drift ice. Here in its wildest reaches, it's clear why the Ainu people named this place Shiretoko, the edge of the earth. On a trip here, you can acquaint yourself with some of the most important deities in the Ainu pantheon. Take a boat trip to see Orcus, Ripun Kamui, god of the sea, slicing through the cold waters, and brown bears, Kimun Kamui, god of the mountains, picking along the shore. Or go on a wildlife spotting night drive for tanuki, foxes, and deer. If you're lucky, the world's largest owl might even put in an appearance, Blackiston's fish owl, Kotenkor Kamui, god of the village. Number 3. Tokyo. Japan's capital may be an obvious stop on a first-timer's itinerary, but its sheer variety of experiences keeps people coming back time and again. In chic Daikanyama and Meguro, you can stroll along upscale streets with innovative architecture and trendy boutiques. Waseda has intriguing cultural attractions like the Haruki Murakami Library, Hotel Shinzanso's traditional gardens, and the stark brilliance of Tange Kenzo's concrete cathedral. And down in Todoroki you can wander through a natural river valley, feeling a world away from the bustle of city life. This is before we've even touched on the big hitters, Shinjuku's skyscrapers, Shibuya's nightlife, Roppongi's galleries, Harajuku's street fashion. Truly, you have to try very hard to get bored of Tokyo. Number 4. The Michinoku Coastal Trail. After the devastating 2011 earthquake and tsunami, much of northeast Japan's Tohoku coastline became the Sanraku-Fuko Reconstruction National Park. Running through it for over 600 miles is the Michinoku Coastal Trail, giving hikers access to not only stunning scenery, but also some of the communities that are still rebuilding over a decade after the disaster. By spending your yen here, perhaps having fresh from the boat sashimi for lunch, or staying at a traditional ryokan, you'll be directly helping that rebuilding effort. Slowing down to walking pace also encourages you to connect with the people and places you'll encounter. Whether at a museum dedicated to the disaster or over a glass of sake in the local izakaya, you're sure to hear some deeply personal, moving stories of what happened in 2011. The cut through the rock makes the section between Tanahata and Kurosaki very rewarding. Number 5. The Yaeyama Islands. Okinawa, an archipelago in the far southwest of the country, exerts a strong pull on the Japanese imagination. The string of subtropical islands is seen as a paradise where you can recharge over your precious few days of annual leave, just white sand, turquoise sea, and no emails. To see Okinawa at its best, you need to go beyond the over-tourist main islands. This is surprisingly easy, with the far-flung Yaeyama Islands connected to the Japanese mainland by plane. On Ishigaki, you can explore mangrove forests, while Takatomi is home to traditional Ryukyuan villages, where the neat square houses have red-tiled roofs and are guarded by Shisa, mythical lion, statues. Finally, the elusive, endangered Iriomote cat stalks the jungles of its namesake island. Number 6. Kyoto. The ancient capital of Kyoto is the ideal place to immerse yourself in traditional Japan. Between the Imperial Palace, Nijo Castle, several major shrines and temples, and an impressive range of other historic buildings, the city has more fascinating sights than you could see in a dozen visits. To see Kyoto at its best, though, skip the most famous spots. Unless you're very canny about when you go, crowds are likely to spoil your experience. Instead of Hiroshimia's main street and river, visit the weaving workshops of Nishigen or take a boat along Fushimi's picturesque canals. Swap Kinkakuji and the rock garden at Ryoan-ji for the serene temples and tea houses of Daidoku-ji. And in place of the palace grounds, wander Heian Jingu's gorgeous gardens. The jewels in Kyoto's crown are sites like elegant Katsura Villa and the hushed grounds of Kokedara, Moss Temple, where the Imperial Household Agency strictly limits visitor numbers. You'll need to apply in advance, but it's worth it. Number 7. Shimane. Only 0.2% of overseas travelers visited underrated Shimane Prefecture in 2019, and those savvy few were rewarded with dramatic Sea of Japan scenery, fascinating museums, and high-end onsen resorts. In Matsue, you can admire both one of Japan's best-preserved castles and, at the Adachi Museum of Art, one of its most spectacular gardens. Further west, impressive Izumo Taisha is thought to be the country's oldest shrine, and is a popular place to pray for luck and love. Mount Sanbi's gentle slopes and scenic lakes are popular with cyclists, and at Sanbi Azukihara Buried Forest Museum you can see vast cedars that were buried by a volcanic eruption 4,000 years ago. The beautiful nearby World Heritage Site of Iwami Ginzen includes an Edo-era silver mine and lovingly preserved townscape. Tickets for the Sunrise Izumo Sleeper train are snapped up quickly, but if you manage to get one, you're in for a relaxing, comfortable overnight trip from Tokyo to Matsue or Izumo, slow travel at its best. Add on a boat trip to Shimane's Oki Islands, a UNESCO Global Geopark, for more slow-paced travel with an ecological focus. Number 8. The Kumano Kodo. Japan is full of ancient highways and pilgrimage routes, and the Kumano Kodo is among the most atmospheric. Weaving through the holy mountains of Wakayama, Nara, and Mie prefectures, this network of trails has been in use for centuries. There are several routes to choose from, but the Nakahechi offers the best balance of well-maintained, well-signposted trails and breathtaking scenery. If you have a few days to devote to it, you could walk from the trailhead at Takajiriaji to ancient Hanmataisha, one of the area's 3 grand shrines and home to the world's largest torii, Shrine Gate. Stay in the rustic hot spring town of Yunamine Onsen to soak your, probably achy, legs before pressing onto one of the other grand shrines. Visit Nachi Taisha to marvel at a picturesque vermilion shrine building standing before Japan's tallest waterfall, or enjoy a ride on a traditional wooden boat down the Kumano River to Hadayama Taisha. Number 9. Ayane. Only a couple of hours from Kyoto, Ayane has one of the most unique townscapes in Japan. The village snakes around the edge of a bay, with its buildings jutting out over the water. Known as funaya, or boathouses, they were designed so boats could sail right into them, and many of them are still used in this way now. Several of the funaya are now holiday rentals, where you can gaze out over the bay while you eat mouth-wateringly fresh fish for dinner, or get cozy in your futon for the night. There's plenty to do in the area, from kayaking and boat trips to e-bike tours. Be sure to drop by Mukai Shizo, too. This historic, family-run sake brewery produces a range of traditional-style and innovative nihonshu, including a variety made from celebratory red rice. In 1999, it became the first brewery in Japan to have a female toji, master brewer, Kaneko Mukai. Number 10. Hiroshima. Hiroshima is an essential stop to understand one of the key moments of Japan's 20th century history, August 6, 1945, when the US dropped an atom bomb over the city, killing 80,000 people immediately. The atomic bomb dome is a stark and powerful testament to the destruction, while the nearby Peace Memorial Museum and Park provide context, outline nuclear proliferation since the Second World War, and express hope for a more peaceful future. While it gives the appropriate weight to its past, Hiroshima today is a thriving, colorful city. You can visit a castle and stroll through a traditional garden, admire works of Impressionism in the art gallery, and take a tour on a retro tram. And of course, you have to try the local style of okonomiyaki, a delicious layered dish featuring batter, noodles, meat or fish, and a richly umami sauce. Hiroshima is also a great jumping-off point for Miyajima, with its floating torii, as well as the Seto Inland Sea area. You could take a short cruise around the islands, or over to Shikoku, from where you can take the scenic route back to Honshu via the Shimanami Kaido. Thank you for watching this video.